Welcome everybody, Will here from Brightwells Classic Cars, ahead of the June Classic Car Sale, which is celebrating British icons and of course the online garage on day 2. Busy time here, we've got another week of consignment to go. The catalogue closes next Friday, and in the meantime there's lots going on: pressure washing, photographing, writing, cars being moved around. In fact, I think there's one about to move now, leave here. Lovely Triumph TR7 with a V8, TR8, also known as 3.5. Lovely noise. Let's have a look what's in the barn. So following on from the V8 commotion of the escape of the TR8 just then, we've got some of the lovely cars around us. 1991 Virage, 95 Morgan Plus 4, beautiful 1954 Jaguar XK120 SE Roadster. In the corner, the beautiful E-Type Series 1 3.8 fixed head coupe. Lovely MGTF, left-hand drive car, fantastic. Bentley Mark 6, MGTD 1250 with a 5-speed box, a Bentley S3, and then right next to it here in the middle, a beautiful Rolls-Royce Corniche convertible, complete with the gold flying spur. Because many of you will correct me for calling this the flying spur, because I had a mental moment there. It's actually called the Spirit of Ecstasy, as you all no doubt know. Thoughtfully painted gold here, but yeah, lovely thing this. Been in storage for years. It runs and drives, it seems to work okay. The roof I think got stuck just at the final stages, but that might be down to stiffness and lack of use. But the suspension seems to lift up. Lovely big 6.75 V8 automatic. I think you'd probably look a bit of a Don driving this around. Right, let's see what else is in here. So this is a bit of an unusual thing. This is an ex-Singapore Army 1989 Mercedes G-Wagon, a G240 diesel non-turbo, no frills version that's done low kilometres. It's been in the UK for a few years. When they're in tip-top condition, these can fetch up to about 18 or 19,000. This needs a few little bits doing to it after its last MOT failed in 2021, but nothing that would put too many people off. Guy did about 10 grand or 10 to 11 grand, something like that. But interesting thing, very capable, makes a nice alternative to a Land Rover. And of course, being ex-Singapore, it's right-hand drive. Can go and get stuck in some muddy puddles in this, no doubt. And a very basic, no frills interior. Not even got any carpets. We're going to see what else is in the barn. So walking through the barn, we see here a couple of early noughties roadsters, a Mercedes SL350 and R230 series. Local car, it's in nice colour combination, seems to be in really good order. And a BMW Z4 2.5 auto in a sort of similar figure, 4 to 5 grand for the Merc and 2 to 3 for the Z4. Seems an enormous amount of car for little money. Got a cool factor. And here we have a beautiful Mercedes 220 SE Coupe. These things really can be exquisite. The convertible version's worth the most, of course, with the V8 engine, but still, what a stylish car, particularly on white wall tyres. Next to it, a 1973 TR6, and then another 1973 TR6, but one's in at sort of 14 grand, this one's in at 25 grand, having been the subject of complete restoration. This really is exquisite, possibly one of the nicest ones that we've had the privilege to offer. What we have here, when was the last time you saw one of these? In 1995, Ford Probe 2.5 V6, and here, manual transmission. So it's a really rare car, done just 69,000 miles, on offer from a deceased estate. It's got lovely tan leather interior, a sports exhaust made out of stainless steel, so it sounds really good. And next to it, another equally 90s coupe, again in another lovely colour, Jaguar XK 4 litre. This is done about 79,000 as well, something like that. But interesting pairing here. Similar era, similar design, 2+2 coupes, both with a sort of slightly larger engine, low drag coefficient, 4 litre V8, lovely things. 1964 Austin Healey 3000 Mark III. The guy's had it for a number of years. It's an ex-American car that had the engine rebuilt in the early 90s and painted, and then he spent the last few years restoring it slowly and gently. But what a result, look at it. These really are magnificent. They make a great noise, ever popular with people, and it is a very usable traditional classic car that looks fantastic, goes well and sounds great. Here we've got a couple of interesting things. Wales' only car, a Gilburn Genie with a Ford V6. Quite a nice thing, apart from the paint finish isn't too lustful. It might need a serious cut and polish. But next to it, a Volvo 740 GL from 1988-89 that's done only 43,000 miles according to the odometer, with a manual box. Square boxes, Swedish designs never look so good. Look, it's capacious. You can fit all sorts of wardrobes, grandfather clocks, bodies, whatever you want to carry in it. Take a look at this interior. It looks a bit like tweed, but I'm sure it's extremely comfortable, hard wearing, and doesn't show any signs of wear really, given its years, advancing age. But what a thing. Fantastic quality. And the door's shut with a reassuring thunk. Another interesting car here, Lancia Appia. It's amazing that these things aren't worth more money. It's guided at 5.5 to 6.5. You could look at that and think that could be 40 grand, could be 60 grand, but actually it's only 5.5. It's astounding value for money. So given this sale's got a British theme, this is worthy of a little mention. It's one of less than 200, I believe, built. It's a Series 1, but it's two-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive, built because of the air bases. They didn't need four-wheel drive on the air bases, or aircraft carriers, again, didn't need four-wheel drive, built for lightweightness. Unusual thing, very rare, sort of hand-finished look, which goes with this sort of rugged nature, I guess. Talking of rugged, next to us here we have a Chevrolet 3100 series pickup that's been in the barn for years, with a sort of ratted look that exudes patina and rat rod style finish. But actually the interior looks quite smart. The engine looks like it is sort of been done. It's a 6-cylinder petrol engine. Most people probably put a big V8 in this, but the basics are all there. You could do all sorts of stuff with this. Slam it, lower it, put an air ride, leave it as it is, put a big V8 in it. Who knows? The canvas is open and clear with this one. So here we have a glorious 1972 Rover P5B Coupe, guided at about £18,000. Lovely big fruity 3.5 litre Rover V8, and an interior that's befitting of any drawing room or comfortable gentleman's club of the era. Lovely things these. My colleague James, he adores them, has a real soft spot and has done numerous. In fact, every time we get one in, he gets all lustful and teary-eyed over them. But it's no surprise, they're a really well-built, fantastic example of 70s Rover goodness. So at Brightwells, as always, as a traditional classic car auction house, we like to offer proper traditional classics such as this 1924 Delage Tourer, a really well-built French car, restored some time ago, a quality restoration, but it's been in a garage for a number of years now and requires a bit of light recommissioning. But look at it, it's a massitive big thing, great big 2.1 litre engine. Could do some trialling in this perhaps, although it may be slightly too big, but seen worse on trials, and they certainly tried it in something similar on Top Gear, in a big Invicta that was about this size. So horses for courses. But what a handsome thing. Lovely fabric body, conventional pedal setup it looks like, with a clutch, brake and accelerator, whereas some of these old cars of this series seem to have about 11 pedals that do many things that are unpredictable. But this one looks relatively modern to drive in that sense. Interesting and appealing value, guided at 15 to 20 grand. Because again, you look at a car like this and you think, is that 100 grand? Is it 50 grand? Is it 200 grand? Actually, it's 15 to 20. Suddenly you go, oh wow, that's interesting. There's all sorts you can do with it. We couldn't do this prequel without featuring, or at least mentioning, this lovely 1976 Series 3 Land Rover 86-inch that's been resto-modded to an extent by King Rig Customs. And just a beautiful shade of green. I believe it might be called Tudor green. It's a sort of modernish Defender colour, but with these chunky wheels, deep dish steel wheels and lovely chunky tyres, the bits of rope on the bumper, all of it, the way they've done it just looks so cool. So here again we have a juxtaposition of choice, a beautifully sculpted Riley RMF versus a 2011 SL350, 315 horsepower, one lady owner. Or would you like this with its white wall tyres? This looks like an old Merc from the 50s. It's such a gorgeous shape and lovely interior. It's probably one of the nicest RMFs we've offered in recent years. So this is just a prequel to the preview, if you like, of what's here at the moment. There's a load more stuff outside as well, but we just haven't got time in this prequel. But check back in next week as the catalogue draws to a close. We'll do our proper full-length preview, and then probably a little one afterwards as well, to show you what's here a little bit more in depth. So if there's anything you particularly want to look at, let us know in the comments. And check back in, check our socials. Social media includes Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel now, where you'll see this. And of course the catalogue on the Brightwells website for the June sale with British icons, and day 2, the online garage sale. Viewing is on the 17th and 18th of June, that's 9 till 5. All are welcome. Come down, there's nice coffee and food with Carburetor Coffee. And let us know what you think. If you've got any questions, get in touch, email or phone, or drop us a message on one of the socials or in the comment section below. And if you want to comment on how I'm dressed again this time, feel free. I'm thick-skinned, I can take it. But if you'd like your car spotlighted, if you're a vendor in the sale, for £50 you can have a bespoke walk around video for a couple of minutes with a commentary, and we'll drive it and show it off to its best. So let us know. Thanks awfully, and see you again soon.